Wakey, wakey.
Welcome back to I'll Make a Stay Out of You, the podcast where we watch so many episodes.
Well, I mean, it's only 2. We only watched 2 episodes.
We did watch 2, but I feel like we've learned a lot today about the members from episodes 3 and 4 of SKZ Code.
Yep.
But before that, before we really dive deep into the episode, Tom, you went to a firing range recently.
Yeah.
How did that go?
Man, what a natural segue.
Yeah, I knew it was a story you wanted to tell, and you were like, well, if it comes up, so you're welcome,
okay.
world.
Yeah. Well, everyone that's in the Discord is already privy to this information, but yeah, so I went to the gun range to re-qualify on small arms, which is the M9 pistol and the M4 assault rifle. And we did the M4 first, and during the M4 course of fire, I was like, you know what, I'll go for some headshots, and I think I got like, I don't know, 6 or 7. But we train to center mass. That's the objective. That's what they harp on all the time. Except that they never said that during the weapons familiarization course or the safety brief before the live fire event, or anytime during the live fire event for that matter. And so I got some headshots on the M4. No one said shit. And then we moved on to the M9. The M9 has 3 courses of fire. There's stationary, low light, and then practical. Practical is like you need to do some sort of physical activity to get your adrenaline up, and then you have to like go through different positions to simulate like firing from cover and stuff like that,
Sure.
But at the end of the stationary course, they pulled my target. They pulled all the targets down and brought them into the back room. And they pulled my target out specifically, and then like told me to put my weapon down and give up all of my remaining ammo and get off the course. And I was like, I had to go to the back room, and they were like, yeah, you see this dotted line right here, and there's like a dotted line at the neck, and they're like, If you get more than 3 shots above this line, it's a range safety violation, and you can't continue the course of fire.
Wow.
And so you get 36 shots during the stationary course. And, I think I put probably about 20 to 25 of them, in the head.
In the head?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I didn't know it was that many. I thought it was like 3 or 4.
No.
And they were just like, oh, yeah, no, we can't have this. 20?
Yeah, because...
I gotta say, were you bored? Is that what was...
No. Well, I mean, yes.
It was intentional, right?
100% intentional.
Yeah.
And like, when they were like, when... Obviously, everyone was talking about it because, I'm the only person that didn't get to finish. And yeah, they were like, why does it matter if you can get 20 headshots in a row? But the thing is that there are 3 different levels of qualification. There is marksman, which is passing, right? Sharpshooter, sharpshooter is, I guess, the mid-range, and then expert is like you can miss a few perfect shots to get expert, but not many. But I qualified expert M9 the first time I ever fired in boot camp, right?
Yeah.
So I don't have to try for marksman or for sharpshooter or expert ever again because I have it permanently. Like once you attain sharpshooter expert, you just have it, right? So the only thing you have to do during requalification is just hit the target enough times to get the minimum score, and you're good to go.
Right.
So I don't give a shit where I, like what I'm doing or where I'm hitting, just as long as I am hitting the target enough to score the minimum amount of points. That's the only thing I care about when I go to those requals.
Sure. Yeah.
And like, I don't know, maybe a couple years ago is when I finally got my M4 expert. So I don't care about trying for a good score anymore. I just go, and if they're forcing me to fire a gun, I might as well have fun with it. And what's more fun than trying to get as many headshots as you can get? I did. So initially, the reason that I didn't put all 36 on the head was because I was like, I will, put some center mass just so that they know I know what I'm doing, So
right.
I went center mass for the other shots, but the rest of them all headshots. And they're like, nope, you're not allowed to be that good. No more shooting for you.
Yeah.
So they kicked me off the course, and then I didn't hear anything about it before we left, and then afterward, I the next day at work, I ran into one of the guys that was there, and I was like, hey man, so what's gonna happen? Because I thought I was gonna get in trouble, but
right, yeah.
But he's like, yeah, they don't care. You're just gonna have to go to the next course or whatever. The next time we do a requal.
Okay.
Right. Okay. But then, and then nobody from my immediate training command said anything either. But I asked my chief, I was like, hey, can you go talk to GMC and find out what's going to happen? Because if I just want to know what's going to happen, I don't want to be left in the dark. And he was like, yeah, I'll talk to him. But that was the general conclusion, was that I would just go to the next one, and then but they would like it if I did not go for headshots next time.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Even my Divo, he was like, I guess talking to some of the other officers about it, and they were like, yeah, he shouldn't have done it, but it's fucking hilarious, And so he told me, he's like, I'm obligated to tell you that I'm not quote unquote happy with you, and you shouldn't do it again, but yeah, that shit's funny. So I was like, all right.
Yeah.
The next time I go, I will shoot center mass.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Center mass.
Yeah.
And hit all of them. Right?
Yeah.
Naturally.
But what this means for me is that I am not allowed to stand an armed watch.
Wait. That's great.
Right. That is incredible. That's
the best.
I'm like, hold on. I just want to get this straight. I'm so good at shooting this gun that you don't want me to arm up for these armed watches? Fine, cool. I will be I'll be relegated to the easiest watch that only a few people are qualified to do, which is a CSMC watch, and it's you sit inside an office with air conditioning, and you have a computer, so you can just fucking watch Hulu.
That's awesome. That's really great.
Yeah.
That's
so
perfect.
So that's my punishment. My punishment for getting kicked off the course is that I don't have to stand hard watches, and I get all the easy watches.
Oh man, you should do this more often.
I think
after one time, if you do it, they're gonna be like, "This is intentional."
Right.
Then you will actually get in trouble.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Oh, yeah. What I was saying earlier is everyone there was kept trying to be like, something was wrong with the sights or whatever, and I was like, no, don't try to make excuses for me. I did it on purpose.
Oh no, that's great. I love it. Wow, amazing. All right, well, that's enough about Tom. I appreciate it. Let's talk about Stray Kids.
Yeah.
All right. We watched SKZ Code Episode 3 and 4. Episode 3 was Ian's graduation. He has finally graduated. Baby Bread is a big old strong bread now. Yeah, it was chaos from the very first moment. I mean, Ian showed up and was like, he was by himself saying like, oh, I haven't worn my school outfit since graduation. This is like weird. I think it had been a couple months since his graduation. And then all the other members bust through the door and one of them just goes, Ian, happy birthday. And so they all come out and they're like, wait a minute, happy birthday? That's not right. And then they all look back out into the hallway again and then bust in. And one of them's like, hey, Ian, yo. And then instead of saying like, congratulations, they instead like act like a drama, like they're kidnapping him, and so they pick him up and then take him to the hallway, and Bang Chan's like, bye everybody, bye. Oh yeah, it started so good. They talked a little bit about his graduation and how they had felt bad that they couldn't all attend. I imagine it was COVID restrictions. They didn't specify, but
probably.
COVID restrictions in Korea especially were extremely strict, which was good. They were having a hard time. So, yeah, but like, I mean, like you'll find out on another episode. We're going to talk about COVID restrictions and stuff. So that'll be fun. But I thought it was pretty fun. They were all sitting around at desks, everybody dressed in school uniforms to kind of match the vibe. And then they played some games to try and earn money to buy gifts for IN. The weird part is they never actually showed them buy the gifts. And maybe that was on like maybe they showed it in like an SK Talker or something like that, or maybe IN did a vlog where he talked about his presents, but it's not in this episode of SKZ Code. They did talk about what they wanted to get for him, which was good.
Yeah.
They played a couple of games. The first game they had to do was they were going to play songs, and they had sheets in front of them, lyric sheets in front of them, with some missing words, and they had to listen to the song and then input the words, and they were all able to work together to like do their final answer, and it was pretty hilarious.
They didn't do very well.
they did not do well at all. Turns out some people have too much
confidence,
too many principles. They're one member specifically. He's a principled man. He's too principled.
A man after my own heart. I love principles.
Yeah, that principled man, which they call it his jutdae, his principled stance. That'll come into play. They said it a bunch of times. Well, we'll get there. I forgot that we watched something else that we wanted to talk about.
Oh,
so
yeah.
We'll talk about it. When they sing it. Yeah. So they one of the things, like, we paused it for a second or jumped back while we were watching, and I just noticed and I took like half the page writing this in my notes, but somebody was tying their shoes.
Yeah.
And the like
double
production
knot.
team wrote double knot on it. So I wrote double knot in like big letters, like taking up half the page.
Yeah.
So I lost that page.
Oh.
Yeah. They got the Twice song right. Right.
Yeah.
The first song they did was a Twice song. They were able to get the lyrics correct for that. The next song was a JYP song. And there was some debate on one of the lyrics specifically, and Changbin was extremely confident in the answer. And he was like, "No, I am right about this. It's definitely this." And I think Sungmin was the one who was like, "No, that doesn't make sense. Like lyrically, if you put that together in that sentence, that isn't the word you would use there." So he was like trying to use logic, while Changbin was like, "No, but my ear hears the other word." And then so they went with Changbin's idea, and they were wrong. Yeah. They failed.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
Unbelievable. The next song that they did lyrics to is a Day 6 song. And I we're recording episode 48 of our podcast of trying to get you interested and becoming a stay.
Yeah.
You heard what, like 5 seconds from a Day 6 song, and you were like, "Ooh, I like them. I'm gonna go listen to them when we're done here."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "God damn it!" I mean, like, Day 6 is an excellent band, and they are a band. They play their own instruments. This is not like a boy group. Like they play. They're a JYP group, but they're an actual band, like a rock band, and they also have had a radio show for a little while.
Really?
Yeah. It was called Day 6 Kiss the Radio, or Dekira,
Okay.
for short. And they would frequently have a couple of guests on. Like every week, they would have a couple of guests on. One of which who was a big fan of theirs, and one who was just a member of Stray Kids. The member that would show up all the time is Lino. They're both members of Stray Kids. Spoilers. Mm-hmm. Lino would come to Dekira, and so like that was just a shitload of content that you got from Lino if you watched Dekira as well. But the other person who would show up, who was actually a big fan of, before debuting and everything, he was already a big fan of Day 6 and loves all their music and considers himself a My Day. That's the name of their fandom. And that is Sungmin, which is why, like, when they were like, "Oh, we got this one in the bag. We're going to get these lyrics right." They were like looking at Sungmin. Nobody else, like, they're like taking their own notes, but they're like all peeking over at him, just be like, "What's he got?"
Yeah.
He's going to know all the lyrics, which I'm like, that's unfair. Like, you could be like a huge fan of a music group and get the lyrics wrong or not know them.
Right.
Like, you don't have to know every lyric to every song. I think that's acceptable.
That's true. I've been really into Cleopatra lately, and I still don't know all the lyrics to all their songs, but they're fucking good. So yeah, if you like rock music, go listen to Cleopatra.
I listened to Promises the other day.
By Nero?
Yesterday. Yeah, by Nero. The Skrillex remix one. Yeah. I was playing games with Logan, and we were playing Audio Surf. Like, we've been doing this thing at night where I'll just like connect to Steam from the Apple TV, and we'll just play a random game because I have a giant Steam library. And so I showed him Audio Surf because I was like, yeah, you could put your own music and you could play it. And so I was playing a bunch of old stuff that I had on my computer already. So yeah, it was pretty funny.
I think Promises is like the first song, as far as I'm aware, that like you and Jeanette really got into, like, from the electronic genre, right? I feel like I remember like coming over to your apartment. This is gonna be like a long time ago, because this is back when you were at the not the apartment that you had with Anthony, but the one before that.
Right. Wow.
I came over there one day, and you guys like were playing it on your sound system, and I was like, You guys are listening to Skrillex?" and you were like, "Yeah, this song's awesome."
I'm like 90% sure you're the one who showed us the song.
Probably, but just the fact that you were listening to it, like,
that we were
right.
actually listening to it. Yeah. It actually, before we had kids, and I don't know, who knows, maybe now, but right now it's Stray Kids all the time. But when we didn't have kids, like, we would always have like these occasions where we would just be like, okay, we're cleaning the whole house. Like, we're just gonna clean the whole house, and that's what we would put on Promises on repeat. And because it loops so well that, like, we would just put the one song on repeat for like 3 or 4 hours, and we would clean the whole house from top to bottom. So
sometimes that's what you gotta do.
Yeah, you gotta do it. It's important.
You gotta put a song on repeat until you fucking hate it sometimes.
Yeah, that's right, you do. Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy. I can't believe it. Like, I knew that it was like, that was a thing, and it was old, into our history.
Yeah.
But the fact that it was like that long ago, that many apartments ago, that's just crazy to me. Oh, man. Woo, it's been a long time. We've known each other for a while.
Yeah, for a minute or two.
Yeah. Jesus. Anyway, so they got the lyrics wrong. Sungmin got the lyrics wrong.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so they moved on to the next game. And the next game, to earn money to buy IN a present for his birthday, was...
For his graduation.
Right, yeah. Right, birthday was the mistake. Yeah, graduation was the right thing. You're right.
Yeah.
Sorry, IN. You are on top. Oh, I forgot. Oh
The
my
song.
God. The song. All right. I just reminded myself.
Yes.
We listened to Maknae on Top because in this episode, Changbin was like, "Hey, if I sing a verse from Maknae on Top, will you let us try one more time?"
For the
And
Day
they still
6
got it.
song.
For the Day 6 song, right.
Yeah.
Which he did, but I saw it coming into the episode, like in the little preview of like what happens in the episode when we were first loading it up, and I was like, oh shit, we haven't watched Maknae on Top, and I was planning to save it. I was going to save it until after Kingdom, but I didn't realize how much they had referenced it at this point. So now we watched it on this episode. They also have talked about SKZ already, which of course I knew that SKZ happened already, but I was just like planning to push that out. We're just going to do it in our next episode. We're going to cover the SKZ stuff and a lot of other music, but we watched Maknae on Top for this one. What'd you think of that? It was pretty goofy.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, it's a silly song, but it's good. You know, it's a good song.
We briefly talked about it, but I'll say it here again, is that it was a birthday present for IN from Bangchan. So they made the song, did the video, and like that's not unheard of. Like, man, is this spoilers? I don't think it's spoilers. It's nothing to do with the group really. On Chan's room this week, this last weekend, Lino called Bangchan and said, "Hey, you should make an EDM song using all of Changbin's noises." You know, like Changbin goes, "Yo," and stuff like that,
Yeah.
right? So he fucking did. He like on the live stream put together an EDM song that is a fucking banger with an epic drop.
Really?
And now like on stage TikTok, like people have taken the audio from that and are playing it in their videos and stuff. It's so funny. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, so it's not unheard of for Bangchan to be able to just crank out something. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, so Maknae on Top, it's not currently available anywhere streaming other than like YouTube. It's the only place you can get it. I mean, like people like rip the audio and then put it other places, but because it's not an official release, you can only watch it on YouTube. But I watch it all the time. I fucking love that song. It's really good. And literally both the kids, if I was to play it for them, they know the song. They know it's Maknae on Top. So
Right.
yeah. So that's good.
Well, yeah.
It's just a goofy song about IN being in charge, being the boss, which is like a joke they make all the time, but now they have a song about it, so
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
So it's
Yeah.
true.
I think my favorite part of that music video though is there's a part where IN's like in a photo booth and then the camera like pans up and Bangchan is up there, like it's a giant Bangchan, and then he pulls up and he's got a photo card, an IN photo card. He's pointing to it, smiling. He's like, "Hey, look at my pull! I got him." It's really good. Yeah. Yep. Cool. So yeah, they sang that, and then they moved to the next challenge, which was to do choreography while carrying IN.
Right.
And some people did okay. Bangchan, I think, went first, right? And
Yeah.
I felt like he killed it. Like he did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Of being able to do the choreo while carrying him. But he's a beefy boy. You know, he's muscle Racha right there. I think I would have expected Changbin and Lino to be the others who did well, but mad respect for Han. Like Han is not known as like a strong muscle guy in the group. Like, that's not his deal, right? He's not a dandy boy like Seungmin, but he's not the gym rat. I mean, maybe he is now, but he wasn't then. And but he did a pretty good job. I mean, like, he was able to do a lot of it, but at a certain point it just became too much and he fell over. So, it didn't end well, but it started really good. So, I liked it. Yeah, he did good.
He did good.
Yeah, most of the other members had a hard time doing anything. Some people tried different things because they didn't think they would be able to carry him. Like Seungmin, I think, took his had him lay on a desk and then took his feet and put him on his shoulders, and then he was like couldn't do any of the moves and was like, oh no, and then just basically froze there and couldn't do anything. But Lino. Changbin, I should say, tried to carry him over his shoulders like almost like a fireman carry. They called it like a rice bag. And he was like, I got this. I'm going to do this different. And then as soon as the music started, he like couldn't do any choreo because he was using his arms to hold on. So he just wasn't able to do anything. Lino, being Lino, cheated. And he just took Ian's legs, had Ian lay on the desk, took Ian's legs and wrapped them around his waist, and then his entire body was free to do the choreo. And so he did the whole choreo. But I think he got respect for doing it because he was able to actually incorporate Ian's feet into the choreography for some of the songs, and I think that got the members respect. Really, I think that really earned his way into being getting a pass and allowing them to get some more money for Ian's graduation presents. So yeah, they did good. Good on you, cheater Lino. We'll talk about Lino's other title when we get to the next episode. A little bit. Yeah, so they bought a lot of they said they wanted to get Ian some shoes. They said they wanted to get him some shoelaces. Changbin said I'll get you shoelaces, and then you can replace your old ones when they get dirty. Great. Lino said he wanted to just go and have lunch with him, and ultimately Ian's decision was, let's use this money to go get Chinese food. And they were like, all right, let's go. And so they left. And then I was like, I don't 100% understand what's happening here. It was like a nightmare, like a school nightmare. Like they flashed across the screen like, oh, but actually, what if he never graduated at all and he'll never leave high school? And I was just like,
he has to eat cafeteria food for the rest of his life.
Right? Yeah, I don't know. It was pretty funny. I think it was just trying to be just goofy or whatever, but I was just like, it was so random, and then happened just right at the end, and they were like, the end, on to the next episode. We're not talking about that anymore. Like, if that was like a setup for the next episode or something, I'd be like, oh, I got it. But no, they're just like, nah, next episode we're playing Monopoly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skiz Monopoly.
Schizopoly, maybe?
Yeah, I like it. I'm down with it.
Yeah. Are you down with the sickness?
That's not Stray Kids.
You're right.
That's not. System of a Down.
Yeah, System of a Down. That sounds right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or no. Five Finger Death Punch.
Oh, of course. How could I forget?
Yeah.
Anyway, the next episode started with
that was very
them,
disturbing.
Yes. Splitting into teams and playing a board game where they basically roll some dice, move around a board, similar to it's Schizopoly, and if they land on a spot, there's some like action or challenge they have to complete, and if they pass, they get to put a building on there, and I don't know the rules of I guess whoever has the most buildings wins. I don't know, but if you complete a challenge on a spot that somebody else has already taken, you get to replace their building with your building.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some competition. We got teams where Bangchan and Lino, Han and Hyunjin, Felix and Seungmin, Changbin and Ian. Yeah. was pretty cool. I mean, like I think it's really hilarious. I mean, they're like riffing on each other all the time, the entire time. Like anytime that Bang Chan does anything, everybody calls him old and treats him like he's old, and if he fails, everybody's like, "Oh, good, we're all happy that he lost." Like, you know, like just really rubbing it in the failure. The members have a tendency to make fun of Changbin for "Show Me the Money," which was a rap competition show that he was on and failed, and so they don't let him live that down. Whoops.
Is that what that was?
When they said SMTM, they were show me the money, and then he got all like pissed off, and he was like, hey, why are you bringing that up? Right. Yeah. Oh, it was pretty good. I mean, like, I don't want to go through like every turn, but I want to kind of go through the challenges that they did.
Right.
One of the things that they did was a like, how well do you know the members type of trivia. And the one that stood out to me, I mean, there was a few, but the one that stood out to me was they asked what Sungmin's order was at this French bakery, a Castella. And I was like, and I still haven't Googled it. I'm live Googling. What the fuck is a Castella? It's a cake. It's a kind of cake.
Okay. But
yeah,
what he said did not sound very cake-like. What was the answers? Green tea something delectable, delicious. I don't remember.
Green tea.
You didn't write it down? Where are your notes?
I got it.
Man?
No, I got it.
Okay.
It's green tea bon delicio Castella.
All right. So it's a green tea cake.
It is a green tea cake.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a green tea cake. That's all. It's kind of looks like a pound cake. I got a picture of it pulled up, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. It just looks like a pound cake, but it's green. So, I got a recipe for it. Do you have? Let me pull it up here. Sorry, somebody's life story was at the top, so I had to skip that.
Are you about to ask if I have these ingredients?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I won't know. Anna, are you listening? Get ready.
Okay, yep. Anna, start baking, and then by the time we're done recording today, it should be done. 8 large eggs, 300 grams of granulated sugar, 200 grams of all-purpose bread flour, 1.5 tablespoons of high-quality matcha green tea powder. It needs to be high quality.
Definitely, you don't have that.
High quality. We need 100 cubic centimeters of milk. That's 3.5 fluid ounces for Americans, and 4 tablespoons of honey.
I think we have most of that.
So, you know, I'm just saying, you could make your own matcha green tea Castella cake. This isn't the same name. That's not the same name at all.
Oh.
I want the Delicio with the French on it.
Yeah. I don't want the shit version. I want the delicioso version.
Delicioso is not the same language.
It is.
No, delicioso is Spanish. I believe the delicio EAUX one is French.
Well, I don't speak either of those languages, so I wouldn't know.
Well, you lived in Spain for like a while. Like, I thought that maybe it rubbed off on you at least one word.
Yes. No.
Yeah. Did you go to restaurants and you were like, give me the delicioso one, not the bad one.
Yeah. No. Yeah. If anytime I went to a restaurant, I would just be like, please, for the love of God, speak English.
All right, fair enough.
I mean, luckily, like the area that I was in is pretty used to having Americans. So
yeah,
you know, all of those restaurants and bars and shit, they would have if they didn't speak English, they would at least have like an English menu that you could point to and be like, that's the one. You know, give me that.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, good. I'm glad.
Yeah. So I didn't have to learn Spanish. I never, anytime I had to speak Spanish, I would just open Google Translate on my phone and type in what I wanted to say, and they'd be like, "Read this,"
Wow.
Obviously it worked because I got in and I got out.
Yeah, you made it. Yeah, you made it. I mean, can't argue with results, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well.
The hardest part of living in Spain was getting into Spain with our dogs. That was like the hardest part. And then everything after that was pretty easy.
Yeah, that must have been awful.
Yeah. Never
But
again.
the dogs loved it.
Oh, yeah. The dogs had a great time. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big yard.
Oh, you mean, yeah, once they were there. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean actually being in Spain, that the dogs loved being there, I'm sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, the dogs love the yard.
Right.
But probably not getting, like, the whole getting them there, I'm sure, was very traumatizing for them. And then we did it to them again.
Yeah, you had to bring them back.
So
that's good. All right, so let's take a look at some of the other games they played. They had to peel a fruit in one long string.
Right.
Bang Chan did it with an apple. Everybody was taunting him the entire time, and then he failed, and everybody laughed at him. So that was great. But Hyunjin peeled a pear and was able to peel the whole thing, and then they had a little snack time. They just had a little snack break.
Yeah, they all collectively decided it's snack time. Like, we're taking a break.
Snack time now.
It's time to eat some fruit.
Yeah. And then Bang Chan, being the good leader that he is and listener of this podcast, he cut up all the pieces and handed them out, didn't take one for himself until everyone was fed. It was beautiful. It was a really cute scene. I thought that was nice. Yes,
good leadership from Bang Chan there. That's why he's my number 2.
Yeah. So one of the other things they had was they had this man, how do I describe this? A headband with cat ears on it. That then they had like a couple of sensors on it that would measure like your heart rate, and I think and when you have an elevated heart rate, it would make the ears wiggle a little bit.
The bottom hat.
The bottom hat. And so the members were trying to. So one member would have to put it on, and if they were able to withstand the charms of the other member who was taunting them or tickling them or squeezing their butt, the ears wouldn't wiggle, and if they made it under 30 seconds, they would get there to place their building on the game board. Sungmin, walked right up to Han and grabbed his butt and gave him a big squeeze. I mean,
it wasn't a big squeeze. It was just a little pinch,
Like, he let go, but I felt like he got a handful. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
And I thought that it was nice. It was kind of the members to say that he grabbed his hip. I'm like, that wasn't your hip, sir. Han, that is not your hip, and you know it. He knows it. Okay.
Yeah.
He knows it because
that was
full knows
cheek.
It. That was full cheek.
I said that to my buddy Brian. I was just like standing there talking to someone, and he comes in, walks right up to me, and just full fucking palm grabs my entire ass, and I was just like, I was like, that was full cheek right there. And he was like, and it was good cheek too.
Oh no. Oh man, it's good to be in the Navy.
Yeah, we're a little gay. Yeah, we have one gay guy in our division, and he's like, he's always
the least
like
gay person,
right? Yeah, he's like, I'm the straightest person here.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's so great. Yeah, hilarious. Right, so they had a couple of occasions. IN had to wear it. Changbin called him Felix, and then he was like, "I'm not Felix. That's not the first time you called me Felix."
Oh, Young Bak. That's
Young
what they were
Bak.
saying.
Yeah, he called him Young Bak. Yeah, which is Felix's name.
Right,
his Korean name. Yeah, I think that little apparatus makes for just hilarious good times.
Yeah.
That was awesome. There was also charades. They had to do charades. I'm saving the best for last, obviously. And Han and was it Han? No, it was Ian and Changbin. They had to do the charades. And they did okay. I think that Changbin's charades were good. I just think that it was hard for Ian to understand them because they were hard. They were not easy.
Okay, so they said charades, but Changbin was also making noise, and I thought that the rule of charades was that you don't make noise, right? It's just acting it out.
Yeah, but he wasn't saying words. He was making the dwecky sounds. He was being like cha 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 cha, like what So. I don't know, but I agreed. I think that if we were playing, we'd call foul on that. Be like, I'm sorry, you are not allowed to speak during charades.
Right.
Okay, that is not allowed.
Just reminds me of a time when I was playing. We played charades, and then we played another game called Gestures at like a family get together. I think probably like Thanksgiving or Christmas or something. And so, there's drinking involved. There's some alcohol. My dad is pretty fucked up. And so we started with charades, which obviously you cannot speak during charades. And so that's the first game that we played. And then we all got around the dining room table, and we were playing this game called Gestures, which is like it's a device, and it'll tell you a word, and the objective is like charades, you have to describe that word, and then whichever team says the answer first, they get the point, and then you pass it. It's kind of like hot potato, but it's like hot potato charades, but you can talk.
Gotcha.
And so, but every time it would come around to my dad, he would start like acting it out. And we're like, you can talk, say words. And he's like, no, you can't. I have to act it out.
Wow. It's hard. You understand the rules of charades for so long, it becomes ingrained in your body.
Yeah. You can't move on.
Yeah. It's too hard. All right. So the final activity, the final thing that I want to talk about with this episode was the debate. Butt Hunter Lino, should it be allowed or should it not be allowed? And it's a subject that I've wanted to do like a special episode on for like a while. And like, I'm not going to do it right now. We're not doing it right now. But like maybe in the future, we will just do a special Butt Hunter Lino episode.
Butt Hunter.
Because here's the deal, right? We watched the backdoor comeback stage, the Mnet one or the M Countdown one where they do the choreo, right? So when they go and promote, right, like they're doing like 1 to 2 performances of it a day. And the first couple are very serious, and they do the choreo like very strictly, right? Where that's the video that they want people when they say, oh, there's a comeback for Stray Kids, I want to watch that video, and that's what they watch, and they see like, oh man, their like performance is so good, so like they're always focused and everything. Then once they've got that in the bag, they start getting fucking goofy with it. And one of the things that Lino has done for a while, and I'm not even 100% sure when it started, is that they will be doing the choreo and he'll be next to a member and you'll just see his hand wander over and grab their ass. It's just like, just give it a big old squeeze. Sometimes a pat, sometimes a squeeze, but always touching members' butts. And it's not just one member, it's all of them. They've all gotten the treatment. Han is the most grabbed member, and they have like a thing. Like the fandom is like those two are together. It's Min Sung. Yeah, because Minho and Ji-sung, so Min Sung is their little couple name. But but he's an equal opportunity butt hunter. And so what I would like to do is have an episode where we go back, find every instance of the butt hunts, and put them together all in one go, and see if we could just watch him just grabbing everyone's butts and seeing their reactions. A lot of times you actually have to find them on the fan cams, because for every one of these performances that they do, they basically have someone with an iPhone who records a specific member through the entire choreography. So you can watch the performances from a bunch of different angles. And so even when like the member that you like is standing off to the side, you can watch what they're doing when they're standing off to the side.
Right.
You know, sometimes it's they're just like high-fiving and bumping elbows or whatever, and be like, yeah, we're doing awesome. And then they go back into the choreo or whatever. Or sometimes it's Lino grabbing someone's ass. Like, yeah. So, they had a big old debate about it. Changbin very much insisting that if he was rapping and he was nervous and Lino grabbed his ass, it would relax him.
It would not make him mess up his rap.
No, he would not mess up his rap like on Show Me the Money. I mean, that was the moment where he was like, to Hyunjin, he was like, hey, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Don't bring that up.
Is that why did he like mess up on it? Is that why he didn't win? Or
I don't know. I haven't watched it, so like maybe that's something I gotta pay attention to. I just know that he didn't make it past the first round and Show Me the Money.
Wow. All right. That's,
yeah. So I don't know if that meant that he did poorly or if somebody did better, or maybe they just didn't like his jude, you know, his principles. So
right.
Could be.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'll watch it sometime. You know, we watched the King of Masked Singer clip of him, and I thought he did well at that. So why wouldn't he do well at rapping? He is a rapper.
I'm not a rapper.
He is a rapper.
He is a rapper.
You're not.
I'm not a
he
rapper.
Is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they left us on a giant cliffhanger at the end of the episode where they were just like, hey, man, you're going to find out what happens on the next episode.
Yep. And for some of us today, that will be shortly. But for those of you listening to the episode, unfortunately, that will be next week for you. Unless you go watch it. You could just go watch it, you know.
You could watch it, but come back and then listen, because we're going to talk about it. And we're not just talking about that episode of the SKZ Code for next week. We're watching a bunch of stuff. So, yeah, it's going to be good.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Well, let's hit it. Thanks for listening, everybody. If you want to hang out with us, meet us on Discord. That's discord.gg/inconceivable. And we will see you on the next episode.
You're only going to plug the Discord, not even the link tree?
We'll plug the link tree. It's linktree/make-a-stay.
Linktree.com.
No, it's it's actually linktr.ee/make-a-stay. It's a weird. I didn't invent it. So it's like tree. But I think if you just Google here, I'm just do it. Linktree, make a stay. This is live Google. Yeah, it finds us. Nice. How about that?
All right. Well, there you go.
That has links to
all of our
podcast
stuff.
Links, TikTok, Twitter, and Discord. So yeah.
Yep.
It's good. All right. See you in the next episode. Bye bye, everybody. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye.